Alright you lot, today we're diving into the deep end of gaming pool to find out why players are jumping ship from XDefiant like it's Titanic and they're all out of life jackets. Spoiler alert, not for reason you think. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that bollocks, cause apparently it helps channel grow or something. Now let's crack on, shall we? Right, let's tackle Big Bad Wolf in room. Overpowered weapons. Apparently some of you think certain guns in XDefiant are so OP they might as well come with a win the game button. But here's a little reality check. If every weapon was perfectly balanced, what's bloody point in having different ones? Might as well arm everyone with pool noodles and call it a day. Each weapon in XDefiant has its own quirks and identity, requiring you to actually, shock horror, think about how you play. If you're getting outgunned, maybe it's not weapon that's problem. Maybe, just maybe, it's you. Adapt your playstyle, switch up your loadout, and for the love of all things holy, stop blaming tools for the fact that you're getting your ass handed to you. Remember, it's player, not gun that makes kill. Stop making yourself an easy target and learn to counter. Or don't, it's your choice. Just stop whining about it. Next, skill-based matchmaking, or SBMM for those of you who like to abbreviate everything like it's going out of fashion. Some of you think that we are SBMM, XDefiant is a bloody free-for-all where newbies get thrown to wolves. Well, here's a little truth bomb. SBMM, it's reason you're stuck in that same mediocre skill bracket, never improving. See, SBMM wraps you up in bubble wrap and keeps you in that cozy little comfort zone, making sure you're always against players at your level. But guess what? You don't get better by playing against clones of yourself. You get better by getting your ass kicked by someone who's miles ahead of you. That's how you learn, that's how you grow, and that's how you stop being just another average Joe in lobby. So before you start crying about getting matched with better players, remember this: without a bit of pain, there's no gain. SBMM isn't doing you any favours, it's holding you back. You want to get better, embrace challenge, face tougher opponents, and stop hiding behind your precious SBMM like it's some kind of safety net. Now let's talk about the so-called limited game modes in XDefiant. Apparently some of you are bored already, crying out for more variety like a spoiled kid in a sweet shop. Look, I get it, variety's spice of life and all that, but let's be real for a second. Developing new game modes isn't as simple as flipping a switch. It takes time, effort, and a lot of bloody work. I know some of you are itching for more modes to keep things fresh, but you gotta understand something. Game development is a marathon, not a sprint. Devs have to juggle creating new modes, squashing bugs, and still find time to, you know, live. Sure, it'd be lovely to have new mode every week, but let's not forget that these things take time to build, test and perfect. So instead of moaning about lack of mods, maybe try mastering ones that are already there. Trust me, by the time new mods drop, you'll appreciate them a hell of a lot more. Patience, my friends. Good things come to those who wait, or at least those who aren't constantly whining about it. Right, now we're on to slow updates. This one really grinds my gears. Some of you are out there acting like if you don't get a fresh update every other day, world's gonna end. This is what happens when you raise a generation on participation trophies. No one knows how to just play a game and enjoy it anymore. Look, I'm all for new content, but here's harsh truth. Constantly needing something shiny and new just to keep playing the game? That's a you problem, not a dev problem. Updates take time because, shockingly, making quality content isn't as easy as typing add new stuff into a computer. Devs aren't sitting around twiddling their thumbs. They're working their asses off making sure that when new content does drop, it's not a broken mess. So maybe, instead of crying about the pace of updates, you could try this crazy idea. Actually enjoy the game for what it is right now. Remember when just winning were enough? When mastering what you already had were at point? No? Well, maybe it's time to go back to basics. If you're bored, that's on you, not devs. Quality takes time, so sit tight and stop acting like you're old summer just because you can't wait 5 minutes. Right, bugs and glitches. Every gamer's favourite scapegoat when they can't get a win. Let's get one thing straight. No game's perfect. Bugs and glitches happen, and yeah, they can be bloody annoying. But where some of you go on, you'd think a minor hiccup in a game were a personal attack against your very soul. Now, I'm not saying bugs should just be ignored. Of course they need fixing, and devs are working on it. But here's a little nugget of wisdom. Half the time, the issues you're screaming about aren't even game's fault. They're down to your dodgy internet connection or ancient piece of hardware you're stubbornly clinging onto. And let's not forget about a crowd that loves to rant about bugs without even playing game. Yeah, I see ya. You've watched a couple of clips on internet and now you're suddenly an expert on how broken game is. Maybe try actually playing game before jumping on 8 train. Bottom line, bugs and glitches are part of the package when it comes to online gaming. They'll get fixed eventually. Until then, maybe focus on improving your own gameplay instead of blaming every little thing that goes wrong on game. Or better yet, upgrade your potato over PC. Now let's have a natter about XDefiant going up against big dogs, Call of Duty, Valorant, Overwatch. You know, usual suspects. Some of you seem shocked that XDefiant instantly dethroning these giants like David taking down Goliath. But here's a newsflash for you. These games have been around longer than some of you have had facial hair. They've got established communities, deep pockets, and a brand loyalty that's hard to crack. But just cause XDefiant ain't top dog right now don't mean it's dead in water. Every game has to carve out its own niche, build its own community, and earn its stripes. Thing is, these established titles didn't come legends overnight. They grew, evolved, and weathered their fair share of criticism before getting where they are now. So instead of mourning that XDefiant hadn't toppled Call of Duty by lunch, maybe give it a bit of time to grow. Devs are grinding away to make this game better with each update. If you're expecting it to instantly compete with games that have been around for over a decade, you're in for a rude awakening. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are successful games. Stick around, get a fair shake, and maybe you'll be part of something great as it develops. Or you could just keep comparing apples to oranges and miss out on fun entirely. Your call. Communication. Apparently devs aren't doing enough for it, or so chorus of complaints would have you believe. Now I don't know what game you lot are playing, but in XDefiant I'm seeing, devs are more active on social media than most of you are in your actual lives. Mark Rubin and his team are out there on X every damn day keeping us in loop. But here's kicker, you lot still aren't satisfied. Here's the thing, devs have already told you what's going on. They've laid out timelines, explained issues, and given us updates. But apparently that's not enough for some of you. You want daily handholding, constant reassurance, and an hourly update on bloody netcode like it's weather report. Let me ask you this, what's point of them repeating the same thing every day? Oh yeah, we're still working on it. Still gonna take a while. Cheers for asking. It's not going to magically speed up process just because they keep telling you the same thing over and over. Devs have real jobs to do, you know, like actually fixing game, rather than typing out same response to your repetitive questions. So here's a thought, how about we trust they're doing what they said they would? Stop acting like we need personal message from devs every time we boot up game. They've given us information, now it's time to let them get on with job. Right, that leads into next load of bollocks. Let's dive into this listening to feedback malarkey. Some of you are mourning that devs aren't paying attention to your every whim, like your bloody oracle of gaming. Here's a reality check you didn't ask for. Just cause they didn't implement your idea within 5 minutes of you tweeting it, don't mean they're not listening. Matt Rubin is on X every day, slogging through your endless stream of suggestions, complaints and outright nonsense. Man's got a job to do, and guess what? It's not just sitting there responding to every Tom, Dick and Harry who thinks they've cracked code to make an XDefiant best game ever. Let's get real for a second. There are thousands of players out there, all with different ideas on what would make game better. Devs can't and won't cater to every single one of you. They've got a vision for the game, and while they're open to feedback, they're not going to derail all operation because a few players are shouting loudest. And here's kicker. Some feedback they're supposedly ignoring? Yeah, it's already in pipeline, but good things take time. Just cause you haven't heard back don't mean your feedback's gone straight into the bin. Patience is a virtue, my friends. So how about we get devs some breathing room to do the jobs instead of demanding instant gratification every time you hit send on a tweet? Next, let's talk streamers. Digital darlings of the gaming world. They've got their own fan base, their own hype train, and let's face it, their own hefty paychecks from developers eager to be seen in spotlight. Some of you think these streamers are single-handedly killing off games like XDefiant by shunning them from next big thing. And you know what? Might be a bit of truth to that. Streamers are like pop stars at gaming universe. They're here to entertain, to draw in viewers, and sometimes cash in on a bit of sponsored content. When a streamer decides to drop a game like Hot Tater, their fans often follow suit, sometimes without even knowing what the hell they're leaving behind. It's like a virtual gamer follow the leader, but with more screaming and less sense. But here's kicker, streamers are not responsible for your enjoyment or a game. Just cause your favourite streamer decided to ditch XDefiant doesn't mean that game suddenly sucks. If you're letting streamers dictate what you play, maybe it's time to start thinking for yourself. Dive into the game, enjoy it for what it is, and stop letting some flashy personality on Twitch or YouTube be your sole guide. In the end, remember, a game's worth isn't determined by a streamer's endorsement or lack thereof. It's about how much you enjoy it. So stop treating streamers like gaming demigods and make up your own mind. Now let's dive into the world of content creators. Those self-proclaimed gaming gurus with a microphone and camera and an audience that hangs on their every word. Some of these folks have a knack for spinning tales and weaving narratives that can make or break a game's reputation. If they decide to paint XDefiant as gaming equivalent to a steaming pile of rubbish, guess what? A lot of their followers will happily join in and pile on. Here's the thing, content creators wield a lot of influence. Their opinions can shape where games are perceived for better or worse. But it's not just about whether they like or dislike a game. Some creators go out of their way to build toxic narratives, creating drama where there's none just to drive engagement and get more clicks. They stir pot, fan flames, and turn minor issues into full-blown catastrophes. And let's not forget herd mentality. The followers, eager to echo their every word, start attacking the game and anyone who dares to enjoy it. It's like a cult of negativity, where the loudest voices get most attention. So here's the thought, before you join mob mentality and start trashing a game because your favourite content creator says so, maybe do a bit of independent thinking. Play a game for yourself, form your own opinions, and stop letting influencers dictate your gaming experience. Remember, just because someone with big following says game's terrible don't mean it actually is. Sometimes real value is in discovering things for yourself rather than jumping on latest bandwagon and discontent. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's truth that a lot of you don't want to hear. Players leaving a game is as natural as sunset. Games go through phases, startups, peaks, and eventually a decline. It's not a conspiracy, it's not a failure, it's just how things roll in gaming world. Some players jump in, get a taste, and think, nah, not for me, and that's perfectly fine. Not every game is everyone's cup of Yorkshire tea. XDefiant isn't for everybody, and that's okay. What ain't okay is turning every player exodus into a melodramatic saga of doom and gloom. Game's life cycle is no different from any other entertainment medium. You'll have your dedicated fans who stick around, and then you'll have those who move on to the next shiny thing. And honestly, that's part of the fun. It's about evolving, finding new experiences, and sometimes just enjoying the ride while it lasts. So stop acting like sky's falling just cause some players are packing up and moving on. Games change, players change, and that's just the way it is. If XDefiant isn't your scene anymore, fine. But let's not pretend that every departure is a sign of apocalypse. It's just natural ebb and flow of gaming life. So enjoy the game while it's here, and don't stress over its inevitable transition. It's all part of the grand gaming tapestry. So whether you're fuming about weapon balance, SBMM, or just missing good old days, remember one thing. Every game has its ups and downs, and your constant grumbling ain't gonna change a thing. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts and gaming stories. I might just feature them on the channel. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.